Now, hello everybody, it's nice to see you again. Today I have a question to ask you. Who do you often share your happiness, or your sorrow, your troubles with? They may be your friends, your colleagues, your classmates, your teammates, and the most important people are your family member. And that's also the topic of the lesson today, living together. And here are the objectives. You see, this objective, like the other lessons you've learned so far, it also aimed at helping you improve your vocabulary to engage in natural communication and in public speaking environment. The second objective is that you improve your vocabulary and ability to exchange ideas related to the topic living together. Last but not least, the lesson is also aimed at helping you to improve your speaking, listening, and reading skills. If you look at the screen, you can see there's a famous quotation said by Gail Buckley. Family faces are magic mirrors. Looking at people who belong to us, we see the past, the present, and future. You see, the quotation reveals that there's always a very close tie, very close relationship between family members. Looking at our family members, the other people may know how close we are, may know about our history, family, and how we are living now in the family and our future. So, to begin our lesson, I try you to work with your partner. You make a list of all the people who you share the home with. How important are they to you? And do you live or have you ever lived away from your family? If not, would you like to, under what circumstances? What do you know about nuclear or extended family? In which society is one of the more common form of family unit. How about in our country, Vietnam? Do you think family life in Vietnam or Vietnamese culture is changing? If so, how? Then this is the third one for you. It's named Living Together, like the name of the topic of the lessons today. So now, with a partner, you look at the family pictures, identify which category the role family fits into, then discuss the pros and cons of each category. Pros and cons, that mean the advantages and disadvantages, the good points and bad points of each category of family. And here are the categories of family: nuclear family, traditional family, single parent family, extended family, and blended family. So now you'd better clarify the term of the categories of family here. What is a nuclear family? What is a blended family? You should know. So here are the pictures. Okay, please spend some time observing the pictures. Here are the two more. Okay, so looking back again at the first picture, you can see that this is a traditional family. Here, this is a traditional family where there are several generations live together under the same roof. You see the grandparents, the parents, the children or grandchildren. You see, to the parents, the two children, they are two children. Okay, so however, to the two elder people here, they are grandchildren. So this is a traditional family. There are several generations living under the same roof. And look at this one. Who can you see in this picture? The parents and the children. So this is a nuclear family. A nuclear family includes only the parents and the children. And look at here, this is also a family, although it's a very small one. Why? There's only the mother and her child, her son. So this is called a single parent family, where there is only the father or the mother takes care of his or her children. Now go on. Look at this picture. In this picture, we can see a very, very big family. And this is, this is an extended family where there are several generations and relatives, cousins, okay, brother, sister live together, okay. And this is another kind of family, blended family. You see, the bride and the bridegroom here, after they divorce, they remarried, okay, to someone, and they bring their children to the new home to live together, okay. The 3 children here belongs to the woman, and the 3 children here belongs to the man. Okay, they remarry, the man and the woman. They bring their children from their previous marriage, and they create a blended family. Now, task 2, named family ties. With a partner, you discuss the questions from number 1 to number 5. Number 1, why do we need families? Is the family ever likely to disappear as an institution? Number 2, should the mother or the father be the head of the family? That means matriarchal and patriarchal. Matriarchal, see, for mother, and patriarchal for the father. What roles do the mother and father play in Vietnamese society? And sons and daughters, who is the boss in your family? Number 3, what influence have your parents had on your life? Whose influence was stronger, your mother's or your father's? Would you instill the values that your parents instilled in you into your children? Number 4, like this. Okay, so remember, society patrilineal here means the children take the father's surname, or matrilineal means the children take the mother's name. Or bilineal, that means the children takes the father and the mother's names. Okay. Question number 5. Should members of a family all try to live in the same area? If you say they should do so, you explain the advantages. If you say they shouldn't do, maybe you focus on the disadvantages. Okay? Or you may say the both sides, advantages and disadvantages of living near together in the same area. Task 3, predictions for the future of the typical family. In this task, you are required to work in groups. You predict which of the present trends of the typical family around the globe will increase, which will decrease, which will be good for people in the 22nd century. We are now in the 21st century, so we predict what will be good for people in the next century. And you explain the reasons for your predictions and views. The first trend, family groups will become smaller and smaller, maybe only one parent living with 1 or 2 children. The second trend, people are going to live in extended families or large groups of relatives or friends with all ages in the house. Trend 3, the rate of divorces will increase to almost 100%. Nobody will want to marry legally anymore. Instead, couples will just live together or apart. Number 4, marriage between one man and one woman might still be the most common family structure, but people are going to marry many times in their lives. Most families will be blended, so few children will grow up with both biological parents. You know, biological parents, that means the parents have blood relationships with the father and the mother who really give them a birth. Number 5, couples will have children much later in life. The average age of first-time parents will be 40. There will be many multiple births of more than 3 babies at one time. The next trend, single or divorced people and married couples or same-sex parents will become foster parents to children with their families, or they will adopt babies from other countries. Do you think that small children might spend more time in daycare centers and schools than at home instead of their biological parents, maybe sister or relatives, may care for them? Next, couples can still have children of their own, but they may choose their features before birth, the sex, color, health, and so on. Science will make this possible. Do you believe in this trend? The next, people are going to live much longer, so they will not only have grandchildren, there will also be great-great-grandchildren, and so on. All these generations will live in the same houses or neighborhoods. Another trend, older people are not going to live in the same communities as families with children because they will be busy with their own lives and friends. They won't have time for the younger generation. In the task 4, you are going to have a chance to ask yourself the questions and identify if you are ready to get married or not. And I have to say that this activity is intended for those students who are still single, who haven't got married yet. Okay, so if you are still single, you ask yourself, or if you work with a partner or group mates, ask your partner or group mates the following questions to find out whether you are ready to get married or not. And here are the questions for you to ask. Number 1, how old are you? And there are 5 options for you to choose. Question number 2, who do you live with? There are 3 options for you to choose. Number 3, what's the longest relationship you've had so far? For these questions, there are 4 options for you to select. Question number 4, what do you think is the main reason most people marry? Do they marry to please their parents, or just because they want children, or it's a way of telling the world how they feel about each other, or you see, they get married so they can live together without social embarrassment. Okay. The question number 5, how much do you like on your own? Most of the time, or just a couple of hours a day, or very little? Number 6, how do you see yourself in your daydream? Do you see yourself as a world-famous star, or with a happy home life, or with a busy career and a social life that takes you out and about? Question number 7, how do you think marriage would improve your life? Do you think that it would stop you feeling depressed so often, or it would give you more confidence? You will have someone to help you with the housework, or there would be someone to look after you in your old age. You'll be sharing at home with your best friend. Question number 8. After a quarrel with your partner of having an affair, who usually says sorry first? A. Your partner. B. You hardly ever quarrel. Or C. It's you who have to say sorry first. Question number 9. If you suspected your partner of having an affair, what would you do? Have one yourself. Okay? He or she has another relationship with someone else, and you do the same thing. You have one for yourself. Okay? The score is 1-1. Or you think hard to find the reason, or you separate until directly for the truth. Question number 10. How should a couple behave at a party? Should they meet people together, or should they separate some time to go home, or should they spend some time together and some apart? Question 11. When should a married couple have children? Within 2 years, or they just have children if the husband or wife wants them, or they just have the children when they both want. And this is the last question. How important is it to be faithful in marriage? A. Both partners should be free to do as they please. B. It's important for the wife but not for the husband. C. Both partners should be faithful to each other. So you see, you will just answer the 12 questions. And now here are the answer key for you. For each of the 12 questions, the score varies. For question number 1, if your answer is A, you get no point at all. But if your answer is B, you get 1 point, and so on. Okay. So you see, for the question number 1 and question number 7, you have 5 options. And the score varies depending on each of the options you choose. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. So after you get the score for each of the answers, now it's the time for you total the answers to get the score. Okay. Your score tells you about the idea that you are ready to get married or not. Okay, if your score is from 20 to 26, it means, what are you waiting for? With your loving nature, you will enjoy a satisfying relationship and make someone a perfect partner. If your score is between 13 and 19, it means marriage could work for you, but not with someone who thinks a couple should do everything together. Don't decide to have children unless you are certain you want to make the necessary sacrifices. And if you get under 12 scores, okay, under 12 points, it means being single suits you perfectly, as you are not ready to make a full commitment. It would make you feel trapped and resentful if you get married now. And I hope that after this very funny check, you can discover more about yourself. The task 5, marriage. In your opinion, is marriage a bad idea? Decide if you agree or disagree with the following statements, and then you discuss them with a partner. Number 1, marriage is an outdated institution and a bad idea. Do you think so? Number 2, it's not reasonable to expect people to stay happily married for more than 5 years. Okay. Number 3, all couples should be required to sign a prenuptial agreement. Number 4, the minimum age to get marriage license should be 21. Oh, I don't think so. In this modern time, it's too early for the couples to get married at the age of 21. Number 5, parents should choose the children's marriage partner. Do you think so? Will you be pleased if your parents choose your partners for yourself, but not you? Number 6, unhappy marriage partners should simply get a divorce. It's no big deal. How about the children? If they haven't got children yet, it's simple. But if they have got several children already, it's so difficult for them to decide. Number 7, divorce should be against the law except in extreme or unusual cases. Number 8, married couples should have children. Of course, they should. However, there are some special cases. It may depend on the health, the financial situation, their ability, their sacrifice, the willingness to take care of children. It depends on lots of things. Number 9, infidelity should be immediate ground for divorce. Number 10, couples who really love each other should just live together. Who needs a marriage ceremony and a piece of paper? Do you think so? Myself, I think that if we just freely choose to live with someone we love, how about our parents? How about our family? Okay, and who is responsible for taking care of the children? And if we just live freely with the one we love, we may live with several people at the same time. Should we do that? Task 6, talking it over. This talk requires you to talk with more difficult, challenging ideas, to talk more thoroughly, to provide more ideas. Number 1, in your view, were the families of long ago healthier or happier than modern families? Why or why not? In my opinion, I think the families of long ago much more healthier than those of the modern time. You know why? In the old day, the wives often, used to stay at home, take care of children. Spend a lot of time for their children. But nowadays, women are busy with their work outside the home, so the time they spend for the children becomes less. Okay, and it also affects the family happiness, etc. Number 2, in your opinion, should men and women lead separate lives, especially in public? At home, should they play traditional roles, especially in child care and parenting? Describe your experiences in this regard. Number 3, why the divorce rate rising so fast in the Western world? How has the liberation of women affected the family? You know, nowadays in the modern time, women are given a bigger freedom. They've got bigger, greater liberation, and that affects the family a lot. They go out more often. They are allowed to decide to do what they want, and it also affects the families. Number 4, what are or what were the advantages and disadvantages of living alone or with friends rather than with family? Number 5, it's not a question of when you marry that's important, but why. Let's discuss this quotation. Number 6, What do you think when there are more and more people who prefer to live alone nowadays? Maybe it's the new trend in Western and even in Eastern cultures nowadays that the young people tend to live alone. And our lesson is finished. Thank you and goodbye.